Hi there, Stacie Tatera here. Hoping to accomplish the August angel card reading since it's already the August the 12th. I took a nasty fall on August 1st and have not been able to do much of anything. I have a bad right ankle sprain and I actually fractured a bone in my right elbow when I fell, along with other scrapes, bruises, and injuries, but I'm okay and I'm in the process of working on getting this healed up. It's going to be months before this ankle is probably where it needs to be. So we're just in the beginning of all of this. And so my goal for the last week, 10 days, has been to rest, not do a whole lot, and get the pain and the swelling in a more reasonable space because it was pretty brutal. I'm like 53 years old and I broke my first bone. So I was like, I could have done without that, right? So I did have the angel cards that I had wanted to pull for this month. And I really always feel bad when I'm unable to get some of these messages out there, but I was feeling a little bit better today and I am planning on returning to doing readings and work tomorrow. So I'm very happy about that. But I did want to at least get a little bit of information out there as far as what's going on with scheduling, classes, and also get some angel card information for the rest of what this month is for us. So we're in a Mercury retrograde and clearly it's kicking my arse, literally and figuratively. So hopefully everyone's faring well with what's going on with that. And just as a reminder, MilwaukeeMedium.com has all the information on all my classes. I do have my Death and Dying class coming up on August 24th. I think I have 1 or 2 openings. So if you do have an interest in joining me for that class, you can sign up online. The other class that I'm doing for the first time is a communication class. And it's something that I see often with my clients, especially in my spiritual counseling clients and readings as well. But we're in a space where a lot of people struggle with learning how to or understanding how to communicate with others, with themselves, as far as how they're feeling, how to even communicate things that are difficult to talk about. Ways to help us communicate so that we feel more comfortable communicating with other people, because there is this lack of communication is such a big thing right now. And I think part of it is because we rely so much on our electronics that we have forgotten to have face-to-face conversations, or what warrants a conversation face-to-face, or what can we say when we do have our conversations with other people. So communication is something that my team in meditation felt it would be a very beneficial class to teach. I spent 20 plus years in sales, have a degree in communications, and obviously have been doing readings for close to 14, 15 years now. So I would love to help you better learn how to communicate with others as well as yourself. So you can sign up for that class. It's September the 7th at my center in Oak Creek. We still have openings for the Lilydale class in New York. This is a class for people who have mediumship or psychic intuitive gifts. At this point, we're kind of waiting to see where the ankle situation goes for me as far as holding the class. But at this point, we are planning to move ahead unless something, I'm told otherwise, that it wouldn't make sense for me to fly out there and do the class. So if you have an interest, I've had a couple people reach out asking some questions. So you are welcome to visit my website. Again, all the information is there, what to expect for the weekend. It's the last weekend of September. And it's amazing because you'll have an opportunity to work with both me and Stacy Sherman, who is also a very, well-known medium in our area as well as nationally. We all do work for, our clients on a national level. So if you want to learn more and you want to do it in an environment like Lilydale, which is just so full of that energy and where spiritualism really got its start, it's just very special. If for some reason we do not do this class at the end of September, we would move it to spring of next year. But right now we're really, looking to see how this pans out. So just want to be honest about what that looks like. But if you have questions, you can sign up or actually contact me to sign up, MilwaukeeMedium@gmail.com. Again, all the information's on the website. Other than that, there is a Reiki class coming up in October. I believe it's the master class. I do plan on doing my spiritual foundation class in November, and we'll be putting that date together, as well as looking at, I can't believe I'm saying it, but the Halloween information, or the Halloween event that I do every year. I am hoping to find a venue to hold that as well. So with that said, again, MilwaukeeMedium.com is really your best place to look for information on classes and events. Social media is hit or miss. Sometimes people see things, sometimes they don't, but I am on Facebook, Stacie Tatera Medium Healer Teacher, and Instagram at MKE Medium 444. Remember, you will not be solicited by anybody for readings. So if someone is reaching out to you, soliciting you having a reading, it's spam. Please report that and block it. So for this month, the card deck that I had initially wanted to use was our Denise Lynn deck, the Gateway Oracle card. I love this deck. I felt like, you know, I was hopeful that this month would start out better than it did. For me personally, this is, again, it's been quite challenging. I've been very fortunate to have my daughters and my husband be such great helpers, and my friends are amazing. So let's take a look at what we can expect for the remainder of August. I did ask when I was shuffling the cards. It took me a while to be able to even shuffle cards. That's why I had to wait, because this arm, it's better. But it was like, okay, can I shuffle my angel cards? It's crazy. So at any rate, let's take a look at what we've got going on here, and let's hear what's happening. Okay, so the first card is Cherishing Self. I accept and love myself. This is a big one for a lot of us. I think one of the things that I struggle with is accepting help and accepting love sometimes. And a lot of that has to do with how we're brought up, the things that we've gone through. So it's interesting that this comes up, because what I'm seeing is that this is something that I think all of us could do a little better at, and we accept and love myself. And anytime I feel off, or I feel just off emotionally, I'm always like, I love and accept myself. That's one of my mantras, especially if you're feeling bad about how you're looking, or how you're feeling, or you feel like you failed, or that you're not good enough. So if some of those feelings are kind of swimming around in your brain right now, this is a great card to remind you to really kind of accept that mantra, like push that stuff out. I love and accept myself. The other piece that goes with this is self-care. What are you doing to take care of yourself? Now, the universe literally put me on my ass. So I have no choice but to let people help me, to accept help, receive. And again, I'm not real good at that, because I'm always the helper and the healer. So clearly the tables needed to turn around for a little while. But the self-care piece of that, we talk about it every month, is so important, especially right now. The energies can be and have been quite harsh. A lot of people going through a lot of things right now. Plus, we're looking at a climate that's highly emotional and heightened politically right now. So do what you can to, remove yourself from that information. Don't get too caught up. I'm always a big person, like, use discernment in what you're hearing and what you're listening to, because so much out there is just not true. So just be mindful, okay? So we're cherishing ourselves. Now, this is interesting. Starting fresh. A wonderful new beginning is blossoming in life. So as we move into our summer season, September is literally just in like 3 weeks, and then we go into the fall equinox. We do have an opportunity right now to start fresh. At any time in our life, we have an opportunity to start things fresh. We are also in a space where Mercury retrograde puts us in a place sometimes where we're retrospective, we're thinking, we're reflecting. And this is also a time to release, right? Mercury retrograde, let that stuff finally go so that we can start fresh, so that we can look at things in a new way and a new light. The other thing I'm getting is accept change, right? That was a big thing for me. Accepting change, accepting that things aren't necessarily going to be as they always have been. We get super comfortable in our routines, and sometimes things have to be shaken up a little bit so that we'll start new things to help us propel forward and get us unstuck, if you will. So again, if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling like, I don't know what direction to go, I'm not quite sure what to do, that's okay. And this card reminds you that there are things that are happening that are going to open doors for you. And at any time you can start fresh, okay? Sharing of yourself. I'm an incredibly generous being. This is an interesting, so we're cherishing ourselves, we're starting fresh, and we're sharing of yourself, right? So I am an incredibly generous being. This is also a reminder that when we are of service, typically in whatever way, and when I say that, my job is what I call being of service, right? But when we're helping others, and it could be as easy as listening to a friend, it can be helping someone out when they do hurt themselves or they can't manage. It's remembering to get out of your own head. But what Spirit teaches us is that when we kind of get stuck or we don't know what to do, when we help other people, that fills our cup. Like that does help us out in terms of, reconnecting with ourselves, finding ourselves. So this is an interesting card because it's very much like I'm an incredibly generous being. If you've been feeling kind of like you want to hibernate or you want to like hermit yourself, which has its place, trust me. It's also a little bit of push about, get out there and get a little out of your comfort zone and allow yourself to give, allow yourself to receive, but you are gifted. You have things that are important to other people, whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, you do. So this is really a reminder to be kind, to be generous in ways that feel comfortable for you. I'm always of the mindset that, people often think as a reader, as a medium or psychic, that I'm always reading other people and I always see things and I'm like, I turn it off. I talk about it in class when I'm teaching mediumship. You have to turn those things off. But the thing that's interesting is that, now I totally lost my train of thought. I'll get back to it. But when when you have gifts to give, it's, again, you don't want to burn yourself out with what that is. You want to be able to, I don't like when I do that, but it'll probably come back to me. But at any rate, when you have gifts, it's like you're not always paying attention and doing those things. I know what I was going to say, that when I wait for people often to ask me, like, what are my opinions? How do I feel about something? I really kind of go about the rule that I don't impose myself on people with my feelings, beliefs, or thought processes. And so when someone asks me, then I'm willing and very happy to say, yep, this is how I feel. This is how I see this. This is what I'm getting on this right now. And so my point in telling you that is that sometimes we feel like we have to always be telling people like what to do and how to live their lives and offering suggestions. And sometimes there are certain relationships and friendships that's totally cool. But when we do share ourselves, I'm very much in the way that I ask for someone to ask me, or if I do want to give information, I ask kind of permission first, like I'm getting some insights or I have some things to share. Are you open to that? So that's the only thing I would say, because like when we share of ourselves, sometimes people are like, oh, I'm just going to spew all this stuff. No, let's keep it kind of tempered is kind of what I'm getting. So I know I lost my train. You can tell I'm like not 100% yet. I'm like, ah. So anyway, so sharing of yourself, be generous when you can, with boundaries, with whatever's comfortable for you. Be mindful of the information that you're sharing with other people. Sometimes it can be overwhelming for other people. So again, just use your best judgment with that. That's what I was trying to get at. Long way around there, right? So good messages as we are like in that halfway point through August, if you can believe that. So we're cherishing ourselves, accepting and loving ourselves. We're starting fresh. We have lots of opportunity. Be open to change. Be open to things kind of shifting, because that's the way it's going to continue to look. and then sharing of yourself and deciding how much of service and giving you can be and want to be for other people. But being of service is definitely a way to kind of fill your soul. So I unfortunately don't have the crystal deck here with me, and obviously haven't been to work in like 11 days and I can't drive. So, you know, for this month for a crystal, why don't you choose something that you love, a crystal that feels good to you, a crystal that you've been kind of relying on or feeling like you want to have more of that crystal around you, and use that crystal for the month. So it's kind of like a viewer's choice when it comes to the crystal of the month for August, since again, I don't have my deck and we're halfway through the month. But I always like to plug Tammy's shop, Remedy Within in Elm Grove, if you're looking for gifts, crystals, cards, all the things. She's just got such a lovely place in Elm Grove right there in the village. So I encourage you to check that out. And then the last thing is scheduling. I have availability through the end of the year. So right now, I have some availability in August and plenty in September, October, November. My schedule's open through Thanksgiving. So if you have an interest in coming in and seeing me, get your scheduled appointment in on the books, because things tend to all of a sudden fill up. But if you're looking to come in for Reiki, if you're looking to come in to do a reading, whatever you're needing, if you're looking to do some group stuff, you can reach out to me on that. But keep an eye, like I said, on my website, Facebook page. I'm also on meetup.com under Inspiration Wellness Center. A lot of people follow that. We have like over 2,000 members. All the events that I do are on Meetup, and it's free for you to join that. So that's my story. So again, if you want to schedule something, feel free to go to MilwaukeeMedium.com, look for schedule now. Lots of openings. I will be working as long as I can work. My rule of thumb is as long as I'm not in pain and on opioids, I'm good, right? So, which I don't take anyway, but, so continued prayers for my healing. I would be so grateful, that this process goes as smooth and as quickly as possible. I've had my fair share of knee issues in the past, so I kind of know what I'm in for with surgeries and my past stuff that I've gone through. So I'm just really hoping that this goes smoothly. So again, any good vibes, healing, I would be open to. That's it. Thanks for listening to me. Sorry this is so late, and I hope you have a great rest of the month. My intention is to have something September 1st-ish for you guys in terms of a reading. And again, have a great rest of the month. Enjoy the beautiful weather and what we have of our summertime. Take care.